Hello, this is Zamanzadeh from ZZNetworking.com. In order to see better, press this icon to view full screen. Today we will be discussing joining multiple tables. In order to join multiple tables, the format is very similar to joining selecting and querying just one table. You select the column names. The only difference is you have to qualify a common column name when that occurs. You then say from whatever tables you want, and in the where clause you relate the tables with a condition where the common columns are equal to each other. An example of that would be this. Select customer num, customer name. Since the rep number appears in both the customer and rep table, we have to qualify it by saying rep.repnum, which means we want the rep number from the rep table. First name, last name from customer and the table rep, where customer.repnum equals rep.repnum. Here we list the name of the table and the common column, and we set it equal to our other table and that common column. So let's do a few more examples that should make this more clear to you. Suppose we want to find the customer number, name, along with a representative's number, last name, and first name. How do we go about doing this? Well, in the following code, you'll see that in the customer table, we have the customer number, that's our first column here. We have the customer name, that's our second column here. We have the rep number, but we don't have the first name and last name of our representatives in this table. So how do we do that? Well, if you select all from the rep table, you'll see that here we have the rep number column. That's a common column between the customer and rep table. It happens to be the primary column for this table rep. Here we have the last name and the first name of our representatives. So what we do is very simple. We say select customer number. Now we don't have to qualify this, because if you go back to the customer table, let's select all from customer, you'll see that customer number appears here but did not appear in the rep table. Since the customer number only appears in one of our two tables, we don't need to actually qualify it. So we simply say select customer number, customer name, just like a regular select statement. But then when we get to rep number, you notice that rep number is the last column here in this customer table. It was also the first column and primary column in the rep table. Since we want to know the rep numbers from the rep table, we put down the word rep for the name of the table where we're getting the information from, followed by a period, and then the rep number column. And since we want to know the last name and first name of our representatives, you'll notice that first name and last name is not here in the customer table. But if we go back to the rep table, you'll see that here the last name and first name is, so we don't have to qualify either of these columns. They only appear in one of the two tables we're querying. We then say from customer, comma, rep, the two tables, and now we have to relate these two tables. And how we do that is we say the name of our first table, or doesn't really matter the order, we say the name of one of our tables, customer, followed by a period, and then name of the common column between the two tables. In this case, it happens to be repnum. So we say customer, where customer.repnum equals to our second table, rep.repnum. And when we execute this query, it gives us the results between the two tables. Here you can see the customer number from the customer table, the customer name from the customer table, the rep number, which we specified we wanted it from the rep table, the last name of our customer, and the last name of our representative, and the first name of our representative. So in this information, we can say that Johnson's Hardware, our first row, our first customer, his customer number is 100. He's represented by rep number 15, and his rep number's name is Pete Smith. This is an example of a very simple joining condition between two tables. Let's try a few more. In the next problem, suppose we want to find the order number, the customer number, the number ordered, the quoted price, and the order date for all orders on order line. Okay, so we're going to execute the following code. First, we'll go to the order line table. Now, here we see that we have the order number column. It's also going to appear on the orders table. Now, since we want a list of our orders that are online, in our select statement down here, we say order line dot order num, because we want this column from the order line table, not necessarily the orders table. We're concerned right now with orders that are already online, not orders that will be placed online in the future. We then have to identify the customer number. Now you notice that the order line table does not have the customer number listed here. It is on the orders table, but since it's not on this table, we don't need to qualify customer num. Now we go to the num ordered. That does appear here, but it will not appear on our other table, so we don't need to qualify num ordered. Then we go to quoted price, which appears on this table here. It does not appear on the orders table, so we don't need to qualify it. Then we go to order date, which does not appear in this table at all. So now let's select all from orders. We select all from orders, and here we see that it has the order date and the customer number in this table, and also the order number. That's why we needed to qualify that we wanted the order number from the order line table up here in our select statement to tell Oracle that we don't want the order number from the orders table, we want it specifically from the order line table. Now we have to list which tables we're going to use in this query. We're going to use the order line table, which is here in the from clause. We're going to use the orders table, which is also here in the from clause, separated by a comma. And then we have to join the two tables together again. And how do we do that? Well, since the order number column appears both in the orders table and the order line table, that's their common column. Here, the orders table is the primary key. If we go to the order line table, we'll see that the order number appears here as well. So we say where order line dot order number equals to orders dot order number. And that way we're telling Oracle that we want you to join these tables using that order number column. So now let's go ahead and run this query. And now we have the results. We have the order number from the order line table, meaning that these orders are right now online. They're ready to be shipped. We have the customer number, who it's going to be shipped to. We have the number ordered. For the first row, we have 4 ordered. We have the quoted price, how much we're selling this item for, and we have the date that the order was placed. This is an example of querying multiple tables. In our next video, I'm going to give you a few more examples on this. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for your time, and may God bless you.